So welcome to the second video of Mobile App Portfolio 1, Week 5. So this, we're talking about something called punting. And punting, you might think of, that it's a term in football when they take the football and they kick it, right, to the other team. And you just boot the ball as far as you can with your foot. And in a way similar to this, you can kind of think of it like that, if it helps you remember what punting is. But it's kind of what you do when you are faced with a major blocker, all right? So I don't know if I have any good examples off the top of my head, but say you wanted to develop a certain element of your application and you literally can't because the API isn't available in the country Canada. Something like that. And you're faced with a really major blocker that, at the very beginning of the development, you said that you're going to use this API for payment or for whatever poker player, wherever you get your data for your API, and say it's not available. What do you do when, a critical issue that needs resolution happens during your sprint? All right. So some choices are available to your team. Okay, so let's say there's a user story, and the user story has something to do with this API that's not available. You can punt it. You can punt the user story, all right, or do punting as a team. So punting the blocked user story from the current sprint and then maybe replace it with another task. So you just do something else in the meantime until you figure out what to do with this other blocked user story. Or what you can do is you can punt a low priority user story and then take on a new critical issue. So if there's something that you can't figure out right now and you're not sure what to do and you don't have enough time to finish it for that sprint, you can put it back into your product backlog, and then you can take out something new that's also a low priority user story and take on a different issue. Just kind of replace it with something else that's lower priority. All right. And maybe it's semi-related to figuring out the API, but it's solving that problem. So, okay, sorry, you didn't understand what punting was. Is it part of cooperation work or what is it? So as a team, you guys may agree that a certain element of what you guys are doing isn't working because it's blocked. So say, for example, this poker app that Tom is doing, or actually I feel like I always pick on your guys' poker app. So if someone else wants to give me an example of what their app is, I'm just not remembering off the top of my head. But for example, for your poker app, if there was an API that you're planning on using, and say the developer ended support for it, or something outside of your control, or some major thing has gone wrong that is going to stop you from completing a task that you committed to for that sprint. As a team, you'll decide that you're going to punt that user story or that task until future time and then do something else instead. So let's say you committed to doing something for a sprint and you realize you're not going to be able to do it because of some crazy scenario that's happened, or something out of your control or whatever. You do something called punting, and you punt that user story. In extreme scenarios, what you do is this last one where you punt the entire sprint. So punting, you can kind of just think of as like discarding or putting it off until future time. Does that make sense, Sandeep? So in some extreme cases, you can punt the entire sprint, say like everything's just becoming a mess. You're not on the same page as a team and you just need to regroup. You punt the sprint, you stop the work, you say, okay, we're not going to finish, but like, let's regroup, let's have a meeting and let's figure out what is going on and what we're going to work on. So it's kind of those extreme scenarios where things are going badly and you need to regroup and rework and maybe pick a different issue to work on because you're not going to finish the current one in time. Does that make sense? Any questions about that? Did I? Yeah, okay. Okay. Kind of cleared it up for you. Hopefully you don't come across this, but if you do start having issues and you realize, crap, there's a deadline coming up, and we're not gonna be able to finish it, you might have to punt some stuff and then do them the next sprint, right? It's kind of a basic way that you can use it. Just a term for you guys to be aware of, just something for you to know about, and something you might end up using this term. Say you commit to a ton of work, but then there's also midterms and tests in your other subjects. Then obviously you're not going to be able to focus as much on development that week, so you might have to punt some stuff. So yeah, I'll just end this recording here. It was a short one. Told you 5 minutes. We'll just stop that.